Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar on design thinking. My name is Saurabh from Cleveland, and I'll be a host for today. Uh, for today's session, we have people from across the world, from countries like India, Philippines, Australia, Singapore, and others. And for an interesting webinar on design thinking, which is presented by Rajesh Krishnan. Uh, Rajesh is a certified enterprise design thinking practitioner from IBM with almost 15 years of experience. Uh, I'll leave the elaborate introduction of Rajesh onto him when he opens his talk. And yeah, I want to thank Rajesh and every one of you attending for your time and effort to join us today. And before we move ahead, just wanted to give you a quick heads up on a few things to make sure that we keep the webinar engaging and interactive across the time that we spend here. All the house rules have been displayed to you under the chat section in the welcome message, but I'll still reiterate a few points which will be helpful for us to uh, get the webinar engaging. So we will be shooting polls at timely intervals. These will be a pop-up window which will come on your screen. You just need to select an option and submit the poll, right? Uh, in the whole course of the presentation, if you have any questions at any given point, just click on raise hand option which you see on your panel. So once you raise the hands, we will select uh, one of you to speak and ask a question to Rajesh directly. In case you are not selected, just put your questions under the questions tab. I hope you all can see it over there, and we'll pick those questions from there. And if you have any major questions that needs a little time, okay, I'll unmute Ramya. Hello. Hello, Arun.
Yeah,
Okay,
Tarun.
right. So this is any
Oh,
questions, or I mean, you were just trying out the feature.
I was just trying out that. That's it.
Okay, but anyway, okay, this is exactly how you do it. Once you press the button, we will be able to see who all are raising the hands, and we'll pick you up at that moment of time to let you ask your question to Rajesh. Are we all clear? I hope you all are clear.
Oh,
I'll mute you again, Arun. Thanks.
yeah,
Okay. Again, if you have any questions which you think are unanswered, just use the hashtag learn with Clavent and post all your questions on Twitter, right? And if you want to have a look of this whole webinar again later, we will be sharing the link with you of the recorded version in the thank you mail that we'll be sending post webinar. So you can take a look over there. Uh, yeah, I mean, these are like a few quick house rules that we just wanted to tell you. These are on your screen anyway under the chat section. And as we speak, there are still a lot of people joining in. So for everyone who just joined, just take a look on the rules under the chat section once, so that we all can have less friction across during the webinar. I think this is for me to get started with. I'll be keep coming in between to ask you. I mean, to let you ask questions to Rajesh. For now, I hope you all enjoy the webinar, and I'll pass it on to Rajesh. Rajesh, please.
Hey, hi everyone, and thank you, Saurav, for the wonderful start. And I hope everyone can see the screen, right? Like if anyone cannot, I mean, Saurabh, can you see the screen presentation?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes, I
cool.
can.
I believe then everyone can see it. If not, just raise your hand and we can see that. Okay, so first of all, I would like to appreciate all our participants in this webinar. Uh, we could have been, like spending time with our family or watching a movie in a Netflix, but then we decided to learn something new today. So kudos to everyone. I really appreciate that, all your participation from all over the world. Thank you very much for that. So I will try my best to make this webinar as interesting as possible and as engaging as possible for every one of us. Okay, so we all will be interacting. This will not be a presentation or a webinar that I'll keep speaking. It will be very interactive. So you'll see as we go along, we will do some activities. We all will do some activities together, and it'll be really fun. Like going through this webinar. Okay, so that's on to me. And just to give a short introduction about myself, as Saurabh mentioned, yes, I am Rajesh Krishnan. I have 16 years of experience in information technology field. And when I was working with IBM, we happened to complete 40 hours of mandatory training. And while I was thinking what training I should enroll for, I saw design thinking and I just enrolled for it. And ever since then, I got attached to this topic and I got certified as an enterprise design thinking practitioner. And I started spreading this design thinking culture in all the organization ever since I have worked with the people near me. So I kind of keep teaching and engaging people on design thinking. And that's how I took this topic as my passion and trying to spread it as far as I can. So I've conducted multiple workshops to different organizations, and I was a part of, creating a center of excellence for design thinking in one of the organization from its inception. So great. So welcome to this first session and a journey to understand and embrace design thinking culture for everyone. It could be individual, organization, startups. It's for everyone. So, we all are on the same boat. Okay. So this was just an introduction. So let's start something on the next slide. Okay. I'll just. Okay. So this is our first activity. You can see a definition of design thinking. Okay, so what I would like to do is I'll give like 30 seconds to every one of us. Just feel free, just read that definition. It's one of the definitions out there for design thinking. Read it, try to understand it, and we will throw one poll after 30 seconds. So I'll just keep myself on mute for 30 seconds. All right, great. So there is a poll which has been sent, and the only idea behind is to understand how many of you understood this definition. Honestly, okay. So once the poll is closed, I assume I may be able to see that on my screen as well. Let's see. Okay, let me see. Okay, here are the polls. Okay, so Saurabh, did you send that poll whether they have understood the definition?
Yeah, I mean, hello? Yeah, Rajesh?
Yes, yes, Saurabh. I was looking for the poll if they have understood the definition.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can
I
see.
think,
Okay, I can see some.
yeah, I can see everyone can see the results of the poll. I mean, we have 42% of freshers and experienced audience, which consists of 84%, and we have 16% of manager and plus level. So we have a mix of audiences here.
Good, good, good. I see a huge percentage, around 84% on fresher and experience together. So a very good audience there, and also we have managers and executives. So good. Yeah, it helps me to gauge what kind of audience I'm interacting with, and I really appreciate everyone who participate that poll. All right. Okay. So let me just come back to this. Okay, so the whole of making everyone read through this definition was that if you guys, did not understand this definition, then, this is the right session for you. Okay, so don't worry if you have not understood the definition or could not catch up with it. Okay, so we will do it in a very detail, and I assure you, like, once the session is completed, none of you have to be dependent on any of the definition for design thinking. Okay, you will remember lifelong. So that's my promise from my end. Okay, so so let's make it more engaging, and let's go ahead to the next slide. Okay, now why are we talking about product and service? It's pretty basic, right? Like, most of us may know, we all may know what is the difference between a product and a service, but let's still have a look at it. Okay, so anyone from the participants can raise their hand and can just say whatever they feel like what is a product is. It's pretty basic, we might know it, but let's still do this a bit engaging way. So, like, anyone can raise their hand. And
Okay, so we have Ramya.
hey,
Uh, sorry,
We
yeah.
have
Uh, Anything that is tangible could be considered as a product?
exactly, that's right. So that's
Rajesh,
tangible.
we have
Anything that
another,
is tangible is a product.
right. We have another person, Siddharth,
Mhm.
who also has an answer. So Siddharth, please.
Hey, hi. So
Right. A product can be something that meets the customer's needs and is fit for purpose.
okay, good. All right, so that's what we call a product is. Okay, now can anyone try what is a service? Can any one of you?
Kiran, would you like to give a try? Hello? Okay, we have Siddharth again, I guess. Siddharth, would you like to answer the question again?
Um, so service is something that a customer would be expecting from a product. Yes.
Okay,
Right, exactly. Okay, yeah, that's a good definition.
okay. Priya, would you like to?
And yeah, I mean, let's yeah.
Okay, yeah. Let's move, I guess.
Yeah, guys, and then one, I mean, like, just grab a pen and a paper, just try to, note down what your train of thoughts are, and, let's everyone be engaged, just write down what you feel like a product is, what you feel like a service is, and we'll be doing more activities going ahead. Just keep writing them in a piece of pen and a paper, and that will really help you guys to, see a better version of yourself once complete this webinar or any future trainings on design thinking. So yeah, I'll just like to encourage that. All right. So, right, as Ramya rightly said, yes, a product is a tangible item that we consume, and a service is something which is non-tangible. Okay. Now, I completely agree. These are definitions, and we all hate definitions, right? So, yeah, depend on these definitions. Let's take some examples. Okay. So, can anyone like to try any examples of a product? Okay, and there's something what I've written there is a quantity over quality. It means that it's a very important concept of design thinking, which means whenever you do any activity, just think about quantity. Okay, don't think about quality. It's very very important, or one of the very important concepts in design thinking. So it's like when I ask you like, hey, can you give me some examples, or what are your ideas? Just feel free to say whatever that comes in your mind. Don't think whether it is right or wrong. Just concentrate on quantity. Okay, so anyone would like to try any example of a product that you guys have consumed?
Okay, we have Ramya again. Ramya's. Yeah, Ramya, please.
It could be as simple as onions. I mean, 1 kg of onions.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's right. Okay, that's good. Okay,
We
so
have
can
Vishnu as well who
Mhm.
like to. Vishnu, yes.
Yeah, hello. Yes, a product would be like a cell phone, and if you ask what a service is, it could be the network. That could be a service.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. That's correct. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, as rightly said, cell phone is a product, a car is a product, and so on and so forth. And a service is like calling a customer care or using the network of the cell phone, as he rightly said. That's something a service is. Or you visiting a garage and you're kind of getting your car washed. So those are the services, right? Now this is very important to know this difference. That's why we did this exercise. Okay, and let's take one step ahead. Okay, and if you could see in my screen, what we're going to do right now is like we all would like to list one experience. Okay, like I was saying, like grab a pen and a paper with you guys and just be engaging. Okay, so I would like everyone to note just one experience that you had with any service or product that you guys have consumed, and it could be a good experience or it could be like an unacceptable experience. So just try that out. Maybe you could take like some 30 seconds, and then we will get back. We will ask a few of the people to share their experience. But yeah, just write down just one experience, everyone. Yeah, so I'll just pause for like 30 seconds to 45 seconds, and then we'll come back. All right, good. So now you might be saying that I have highlighted let's diverge when we started this activity, right? Now, diverging is another important concept in design thinking. It's very important. We use this concept in most of our workshop or almost all the workshops that we conduct for design thinking. So it's very important to know what diverging is. It's as it's rightly say, like whenever we do such kind of activity, we ensure that even if we are in a group, we do it individually. We do not do any discussion with anyone, and we avoid any distractions, and we should focus on our thoughts only. So this is a time which is given to you guys individually, where you can sit, do some sticky notes, write down your thoughts on a pen and a paper, right, wrong. It's all welcomed, so that's what is called a diverging. So it's a very important concept. I would like you guys, to like remember that. So whenever we do a exercise or workshop, we say let's diverge. So that means like we are on our own and we don't talk to each other and we perform that activity. Okay, great. So Saurabh, let's see if someone has raised their hand and would like to share their experience. So let's do one thing. The people who can give okay, let's try first example. Anything is welcome. Yeah.
So, anyone who would like to share their experience on diverging? If anything unacceptable experience that you guys had lately? Okay, we have one hand raised. We have Vishnu. Vishnu, please. Hello?
Yeah, hello. Hello,
Hello,
can
Vishnu.
you hear me? Yeah, when you talk about when you ask whether it's unacceptable, I don't know, but it was very disappointing for me. So
Okay.
that was I recently ordered a sunglasses when I saw it on Instagram. It was actually imported or something. It was like $40 or something. Then after I got it uh, delivered, it was really bad that it was like pathetic quality. So it is quite unacceptable when it comes to me. But the
Okay.
service
So
of delivery, it was very like on time. It took like a week or something, which was really good.
okay.
But
So
the product wise, it was really bad.
okay. All right.
Yeah,
So Vishnu, if I ask you about that,
yeah,
so you say that's your experience, right? And you said
yeah, yeah.
that experience is a product or a service. You said it's a product, right?
It's a product. Yeah,
Okay. So so now you understand that that's your experience, and that experience is of a product, and that
Hmm.
was disappointing, unacceptable, or it was not satisfactory, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. And also you said a good experience that, and that experience was what, like fast delivery, everything good. So
Yeah,
was that a product or
yeah.
was that a service?
It's a service, right?
It's a service, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So now you're understanding like why we're doing this activity, right? And everyone else is understanding this. So
Yeah.
this will really help. Okay. So we had a bad product experience, and we
Yes.
had a good service. Okay.
Yes,
Anyone
exactly.
from the participant who would like to try a good experience with a product? So we have seen an unacceptable one. I would like someone to raise a hand and share a, yeah.
Siley, who will? Yeah, Siley, please go on. Hello? I guess we cannot hear Siley. I'll take Antara's question. Antara,
Mm-hmm.
please. Good afternoon. Antara, yeah, we can hear you. Hello. Okay, we have Francis. Francis, can you hear us? Okay, Francis this is what Francis has shared. I'll put that on the chat. Okay. So Rajesh, I'll send you Francis's answer over a chat and I'll share that with everyone. Can you please, Rajesh, take a look at the question from Francis and
Is that a question? Can you read that out? Yeah, can you just read that out,
Yeah.
Saurabh? Let's chats. Yeah.
That's an experience that Francis is sharing. He's saying HOVAC portable vacuum cleaner. Vacuum housing is unevenly printed and dust and air leaks. So that's one of the bad experience. Auto Chef kitchen assistant, easy to use, slices and dices well, cleanse easily. So that's a good experience. PLDT fiber subscription claims to provide unlimited speed. It's been a week since I don't have it. Okay, so that's bad. Sad, Francis. Anyway, so Roll20 is a premium subscription that holds great player-based connection, and I can hold online tabletop sessions with my players. So Francis has shared a mix of good and bad experiences across tangible products like vacuum cleaner to subscription, and yeah, these are the things. But he's not able to speak because his mic's not working, sadly.
Okay.
So yeah, okay.
Yeah, Francis, really appreciate that you were able to put that down in the chat.
We have people raising hands, so I'll ask Raghavendra. Let's see, Raghavendra, if you can hear Raghavendra.
Yeah, hi, Saurabh. Hi, Rajesh.
Yeah, hi,
Just one thing I wanted to. I hope you're able to hear me.
Yeah, we're able to hear you. Yeah.
Okay, great. So recently, I think a couple of months back, I took a subscription of CultFit. It's a service. I don't know whether to call it as a service or the product. I still call it as a service, but without any expectation, I took the subscription actually. But I would like to say it's been an awesome experience so far. So I'll categorize it as a service, but it has been a really awesome experience. Whereas QFit, which is a food related food delivery related of the CultFit, the quality of the food and the timely delivery, both service as well as the product, both have been really good actually so far.
Okay, great, Raghavendra. Great, good to hear that. But guys, everyone on this participant, don't order right now from CultFit. Okay, COVID is all around, so be careful. Okay, that's good, Raghavendra. That's really good. Yeah.
Who's saying, Sally, would you like to ask the question? I mean, give your suggestion here.
Yeah, just to wrap, before we go to Sally, yeah, Raghavendra, the person who came before, yeah, that's a service, okay? What you experienced, what you rightly said, it's not a product. You are ordering something. Yeah, you are getting a product, of course, as a food, but you're also experiencing the service as a delivery and all those stuff. So it's a mix of service and a product. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Next person, please. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. So Sally, we cannot hear her. So I think we should move ahead and see as we move.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
So Sally's answer was random presses on toothpaste and hand sanitizer. I mean, I'll just post a question on the group amongst everyone so that everyone can see what her question is. Everyone can see it under the chat section.
Okay, hand sanitizer with clip-ons to the bag, making it easier to sanitize your hand and yet not have touch bags again. Okay, I believe that's a good experience there. Okay, great. So, sorry?
I think we should move ahead. I mean, people.
Yeah. Yeah, the people are waiting. Yeah. So yeah, sure. So I think the whole idea was to understand this concept, and let's move ahead like to the next slide. So now the real life experience which we just shared. So I won't take much time here. So what we did after 45 seconds, like when everyone was individually doing their activity, that's called diverging. And what we did after that is called converging, right? So converging is another important concept which we just went through together, where everyone comes together, we hear each other's experience, we see what idea they're bringing or what experience they're bringing on the table. So converging is a very important concept in design thinking. So diverging and converging, which we did some time back. Okay, I won't go through this experience because by now we have gone through, we can understand what a product or what a service is. We can differentiate our experience, whether they're good, bad, and stuff like that. So I'm not going to read this. This was just for an example here. All right. So far we have learned what is a service, product, and what are the experience of an end user is, and diverging and converging. That's what you can see in the slide. Okay, so moving ahead, unless someone has any query or anything, any suggestions on the webinar, can raise their hand. I'm just going ahead if there is none. Okay, so what I'm coming here is I would like to know, or I'm adding another two elements to it. Okay, so we went through experience, a product and a service. What I'm adding here is something called feeling and thinking. Okay, now I would like to ask some of the audience and participants here, can anyone let me know the difference between a feel and a think? Anyone would like to try? You can raise your hand.
Okay, we have Siddharth.
Hey, hi Siddharth.
Yeah, hi. Feel, I'm not sure what think is, but feel is how does the consumer feel at the end of the, after having used the product or the service? Does he feel good? Does he feel, did he have a good experience or did he have a bad experience? How was the whole user experience of
Okay.
using the product or service? Not sure what think. Yeah. Think is probably what his expectation was. Probably.
Okay, good try. See, that's how we engage, right? That's really good. Yeah, so that's right. Yeah. Okay, can we have someone else? We'll give one more chance to someone and then probably we'll go ahead. Can anyone else would like to try?
Saili, I mean, we can hear her. I'll go for Ramya. Ramya is.
Yeah, feeling would involve
Hey,
emotions,
Ramya.
thinking would involve, yeah, hi. Feeling would be more to do with emotions, thinking more to do with logic, thinking from heart, thinking from head. These are things which come to my mind when I think of, when I look at the words feel and think.
Okay, that's exactly right. You know, you actually hit the nail. So that's the exact difference between
Yeah,
feel and think. And of course, the previous participant, what he said is also is correct. Yeah.
we have
Okay,
interesting answer
great.
from.
So anyone? Yeah,
Rajesh,
yeah.
we have an answer from Regina. She says feel is emotional and think is perception, which may be subjective. So I
Okay,
mean,
cool.
the question
Yeah,
is
just
that.
great. Yeah, keep engaging yourself, guys. Like if you're not picking you up randomly, feel free to just write down in the chat. Saurabh is constantly looking at the chats and questions there, so we'll definitely pick from there as well. Okay, so let's keep engaging. Yeah, that's right. So if you see what feel is and what think is, yeah, feeling is related to our emotions and thinking is what goes inside our head. Now again, when we say this, it may not be clear to many of us, right? So let's do an exercise. Let's everyone participate. You can see these boxes over here. You can take some time to read it. I have already categorized them, whether these experiences are related to a product and whether these experiences are good or unacceptable. So this is an exercise which we did before. I would like you to just read it, and maybe you can just pick up one. Okay, you do not have to pick up everything. Whatever you feel comfortable, just pick one of the experience and just write what is that person feeling, or what are the emotions that going on inside his head, and what is he thinking. Just to make it easy for everyone, I'll just take one example. All right. So the first one is saying that someone is using an iPhone or X phone for last 6 months. Sorry, I'm just saying it as X whatever phone, and it's keep restarting and it's heating issues, and that particular user is very frustrated, and he's saying that I'll drop a negative feedback on Amazon. Okay, that's his experience, and that is what he's saying. Okay, now what is he feeling when he's saying this thing, like about this product? He's, of course, from an emotional standpoint, he can be unhappy. Hey, sorry guys, I don't know, I just got unmuted, I'm sorry. Okay, so what I was saying is, from a feeling standpoint, we can see that he's unhappy, he's frustrated. And what is he thinking? He might be thinking like, can I have something awesome? Can I have something better product? That's what he's thinking. Okay, so I just give you an example. So just try the other three. Everyone just try from your side, drop some comments, and we'll just pick up some random two people randomly to share their what they would like as a feel and think for one of these experience. So maybe we can just take like 30 to 40 seconds, and then we will start taking the queries or your answers. So yeah, and just remember, always quantity over quality. Just feel free to just write whatever you feel like it's correct. Okay, don't think whether to be right or wrong. Okay, Saurabh, you can just sorry, I didn't do a time check, but then maybe 30-40 seconds you can just start picking if someone is raising their hands. Okay,
We have Suraj Suraj, do you have any suggestions here? Okay, so we have Hetal who answered. She says, for the second example, person feels satisfied. Hello. So we have Hetal answer for the second example. I've put that on the chat section. So she says, person feels satisfied and content with the product and thinks he has got value for money product and trusts the brand. Okay, so it's under the chat section.
okay, cool.
We have Angela's.
I think someone was speaking. Yeah.
Yeah, hello. Hello.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, so I was thinking regarding the second question. I feel like the guy must be feeling like happy, and what he thinks is like he might be sharing his experience with the other guys, and and he will like suggest this same phone for his friends or family.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. That's good. Yeah. That's right. Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Another question from Riddhi.
Hello. Hello, am I audible?
Rajesh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
She's audible.
yeah. Hi, Rajesh. I think I would go for the fourth example, and if I think getting a good service by the bank which I am a part of, I think I'll feel more satisfied and content with the services. That would be my feel, and I would think if they are, if they can give me any other service, I would definitely go with it without having a doubt or reservation. So yeah, I think
That's what you think.
yeah.
That's what you think, right? You can go with
Yes.
something
Yes.
more. Exactly, that's right. You think like, hey, if they can give me some more service, it'll be good. So that's going on in your head, inside your head, right? Yeah, that's
Exactly.
exactly right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank
And
you.
Okay,
good,
interesting.
good. Okay, cool. So, Saurabh, can I go ahead?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, so yeah, I'm just writing few what I could put from one of the participants. So someone was saying for the third example, they're losing motivations. They're thinking it's a waste of time because this bank is taking a lot of time. We cannot get into the IVR. So is happy, satisfied. What else I'm missing? He must be thinking. The feeling can be overwhelmed, and the thinking could be, this is the best service that I can get. That's what he's thinking. Okay, so yeah, so that's about it. So I hope everyone have understood this. Any questions on this before we move ahead? Like any suggestions on anything that you want to ask? I'll just give it a pause. Any question, any random questions anyone has, we can just pick up one or two randomly. Others can put it on a comment. uh, if everyone is good, we can go ahead, but if you have any doubt or anything that's bothering you, just feel free to share with us before we go ahead.
Okay. We have a question that Siddharth has been trying to ask. I think Siddharth, we'll take that question in the Q&A. The question is basically, what is the difference between RPA and design thinking? Rajesh, we want to take it in the Q&A session.
Yeah, we can take that in a Q&A. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So Siddharth will take the Q&A. Rajesh, I think we should move ahead with the other slides.
Okay. Okay, great. So see, guys, now you know a lot of basic concepts we have gone through. Okay, now when I read the design thinking definition, it will be pretty clear to you guys. Okay, so now this is a design thinking definition which I have created from my side. So I'm sorry for that. Okay, let's get ourselves into it. Okay, so now design thinking is an approach. Okay, now I have bold the approach because I'm just showing it like, and I'm just giving you one of the approach, right? Like uh, there is a seven-fold approach which I have designed, uh, and that approach is taken when we do a workshop or when we do some foundation level training. So we go through all the seven approaches. It's basically understanding the end user, their persona, empathizing them. So there are seven steps, and it is an approach, and you know that's kind of a process or approach, you could say. Okay, so that's what I have highlighted here. So design thinking is an approach to understand and empathize end user pain points of frustration. So you have seen the pain point, like when your service is not good, how frustrated you are. So we need to understand, put ourselves in their shoe, and feel what that user is actually going through the pain point. And then we need to produce certain ideas or solutions. How we produce these ideas and solutions, that is using this particular approach, okay, which you see in the middle of the screen. Using this approach, we will be producing ideas and solutions. So the output of this approach, the sevenfold process for the design thinking, will give you a idea and a solution. Okay, and how we get these ideas and solution is like, we try to find the bad experiences or the unwanted experiences, and we try to convert them through ideas into a positive feeling or a positive or a good experience. Okay, so if you remember the example where you saw a phone that was getting heated up. Now, if that is a product that your company is producing, and if you see the comments as a review that that phone is getting heated up and getting restarted always, what would you do? You would try to go back and improve your product, right? And then you will start selling it. Then your product will start selling to the people, right? So that is what we are doing here. We are trying to convert this unwanted or the pain point and frustrations through our approach. We convert them to a better user experience. And if we are able to do this, you guys will be able to sell your product, you guys will be able to sell your service, and when you convert your user who is unhappy to a satisfied user, your product and your service will sell. People will appreciate it, and it will happen, like how we have iPhones, like everyone likes it. Okay, so that's what this is there. We won't go in detail about what the approach is, but this is what design thinking does. Okay, it gives you a solution. Now, before I open up people to ask a question, because this is a very powerful slide, I would like to pick up 3-4 people who have a question or a doubt on this definition. I would like to take that. But yeah, so like anyone has any questions on this definition, or let's not look at the definition, but did you understood what design thinking is, what it does? Anyone who has any query can uh, raise their hand, and we would love to
Okay. We have a question from Siddharth. The question is, why do we have to start with the negative experiences?
Okay, good question. Good question. Yeah, I mean, what we're trying to do is the industry right now, like if you see here in this approach, right? Like if it's a huge product that you guys are producing outside, you do certain market analysis and you try to understand the pain points. See, if the customer is already happy with a service, like you remember one of the lady in this participant, she was saying that that bank is giving me a very good service, right? That's her positive feeling, right? That's a good experience. Now she's happy with that service. So if she's putting any comments around a positive thing, we cannot enhance that ahead, right? But at the same time, she's thinking like, can you offer me something different? Now that is what her expectation is. Now, if you find such kind of analysis using some market analysis tool, if you understand that she's satisfied with this, she's happy with this, but she needs this, she needs something more, we can work on that, right, and produce it. So that's why the idea is to focus on the pain points of the end user and improve that. So that's why in design thinking, we focus more on the pain points, the frustration, the bad experiences, and we try to convert them into a better experience. It's then only you can be ahead of your competitor, right? So I would like to just bring up this very classical example. Like way back, we have this car, right, which doesn't have, it's very difficult to steer the car left and right. You have to use a lot of muscle power. What do you have now? Like you have cars with power steering, right? So like in India, we used to have a car called Maruti 800. It doesn't had that power steering. But immediately when new people brought new car, maybe Maruti itself brought a car that is having a power steering, of course they will sell out their old car and they would like to upgrade to a better one, right? Which is having a power steering. That's why very important that as a startup, as an organization, we should know the pain points, the frustrations of our users, and then improve that. Then you can be ahead of your competition. Does that answer you, or you have any further question? I would please like to take that.
Yes, it does. I was also thinking that in case you could also start with the positive experience and then innovate on it by adding additional features and services, rather than this is in case of if a product has negative reviews or has bad experiences. But if you already have a product that is meeting the customer needs, then I think the way to incorporate design thinking in that would be by building on those positive experiences and adding, innovating on it by adding new features on it. I think is that, I wasn't sure, so I thought I might check.
Absolutely, absolutely. No, I completely agree with you, and everyone in this webinar will agree with you, because like if you take iPhone for example, they are doing the same thing what you're saying, right? They introduce a very awesome phone in the market, and everyone likes it. No one has no complaints. But 6 or 7 months down the line, they launch another phone, right, with new features. So they keep improving. They do the positive things, right? So yes, I agree with you. We can also focus on how to, do something better for that existing product as well. Looking at the positive side of it as well. Okay. All right. So any other
I think we should.
questions? Yeah.
We have a couple of questions for the Q&A, so I think we can move ahead.
Yeah.
Rajesh.
So before we move to Q&A, I just wanted to just quickly go through this. So like we saw design thinking approach. It might be sounding pretty simple to every one of us. Like, okay, fine, a phone is restarting. Let's create a new phone and give it back to the customer. They will, I can sell more product or service, right? But I would like you to think again. What we did right now was an experience of only one user. All right. Now the challenges comes when you have thousands and millions of users. You might be working in a company like Amazon or Apple. They have millions of users. How are they trying to sell their product back to back? What are they doing? That's where design thinking comes. It will help you, like when you engage yourself in a workshop or the next level of the course where we go through the actual process of design thinking, you will know how design thinking can simplify and understand thousands and millions of users in a very short span of time, and how you can improve your service. So that's the beauty of design thinking when you kind of embrace design thinking in your culture, in your DNA. Okay. So that is what I wanted to say over here. And just one more thing before we close, or it's very important to know that design thinking will give you or suggest you a solution. Okay, the output of a design thinking workshop is a prototype, a very low prototype, and it's just an idea that comes out, and it's a very effective idea with which you can sell. However, to make that suggestion or that idea, to make it work, you have to have your business approval. So it's just a prototype, right, that comes out of a design thinking. Don't think like design thinking will give you a workable solution. It will give you a solution, but not a workable solution. To make that solution workable, you have to go back to your business. You have to tell them, this is the workshop that we did for 1 or 2 days. This is how we can improve our product and service. And then you think about the technology which can be implemented to bring that solution to the life. So it could be RPA, robotic process automation, as one of the person was saying. It could be artificial intelligence or blockchain, anything, like anything that can come. So adding a technology is something later, but the design thinking will give you the solution. Okay, a good solution that can be made workable. Okay, so in the next slide, what you see, this is my 7-fold design thinking approach, which I give it to all my organizations and people when I conduct the workshop. And this is a result driven approach where people can design their product. So which we can go through in a workshop or foundation level courses. Okay, so I've just written, considering the time limit here, I'm just not going through this, but you can just read out where you can apply design thinking and when to apply design thinking and stuff like that over here. Okay, so yeah, so we gone through product, service, diverge, converge, user experience. We came to know feel, think, quantity over quality, what is design thinking, where and when to apply it. So this is what you've seen in the overall session. And yeah, now we can jump to Q&A. Everyone, please feel free. I'm talking from long, so I'll take a pause.
Okay. So we have interesting questions here. The first one that we got was from Siddharth. His question is, what is difference between RPA and design thinking? So I'll unmute Siddharth for a while.
Yeah. Yes, Siddharth, hi. Thank you for that question, and I hope I got it right. So you're asking what is the difference between a robotic? Yeah.
But then for the people who doesn't know, RPA means robotic process automation, and design thinking is a similar approach. So Siddharth wants to know what is the major difference between these two. Now, please, Rajesh.
Yeah, Siddharth. So see, like I was saying, design thinking is a mindset, right? It's an approach. Okay. Um, now RPA is a technology, right? Robotic process automation is a technology. What happens is a lot of people sell this technology like IoT, blockchain. They come and sell it to your organization. Hey, if you do this, you get this. If you do this, you get this. And our executives and top managers, they say, hey, implement blockchain in your project. And we start or implement RPA in your project. And we try to, for the sake of technology, we just try to do something with it. That's not what design thinking is. Design thinking is a first step. It will tell you a solution. For example, for this webinar, okay, like when I was talking to Saurabh, what design thinking can do is it can help you come up with an idea that within 2 clicks you can enroll in a webinar. That's an output. That's an idea that comes out. We do a prototype, and then we think, okay, this is what we need to achieve. This is a good solution, and the prototype looks good. Now we think like, how can we actually implement it? What technology can I implement? That's when RPA comes into picture. And if you say, can RPA solve this problem? We may say no. Can IoT do it? Can blockchain do it? Or what technology can help, bring this solution to a real life, a working product? That's where technology comes in. So we do not encourage people in design thinking to directly hit and come up with solution. Hey, let's implement IoT and solve this problem. We don't do that. It happens at a later stage. Did that answer your question, Siddharth?
Yeah, it did. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So the next question we have is from Suraj. He is asking, can we classify an app as a product or a service, like like WhatsApp? WhatsApp. How will you classify a WhatsApp?
WhatsApp as an end user, it's a service for me, right? I'm using its service, right? So I may not be happy with it, some service, then I'll give a feedback.
Okay.
Okay, so like what apps can we consider as a product? Like if we consider an Amazon, so basically they sell products. So can we classify as a product or a service?
See, Amazon as a platform. See, just think from this perspective. You're saying that you're trying to order a product from Amazon, right?
So it's basically a service that they provide.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're on Amazon, you're booking a product. Okay. Can you just tell like what? Just give an example. What product are you trying to book in an Amazon?
Consider an book that I'm like I'm buying a book from an Amazon.
Okay, you're buying a book from an Amazon. What if you log into it and you're not able to find what you try to buy? You'll get frustrated, right?
Yeah, obviously.
Maybe the look, the feel, you don't know how to go, payments are difficult, you're not able to use Amazon the way you want to use. You will get frustrated, right? So you're not able to use the service. So Amazon is a service, but once your order is placed, you have a very good experience with Amazon as a user. That's a service for you. That Amazon platform is a service for you. But when you get the product in your hand, which could be anything from an phone to whatever, that's a product. When you get that product, you will not blame Amazon for it, right? You will say like, you gave me a laptop, it's not working. So it could be Dell or whatever, so that's a product.
Okay, like basically I'm asking this because I was trying to enroll in a product designing graduation. So the categories that I found was like UX UI designing that I am interested. So UX UI is basically related to apps only. So that what I was confused about, like
Okay. No, I got it. Yeah, because the product, when you say product owners, they are right. The product owners are like Flipkart, Amazon, whatever you say. The people behind, for them, it's a product, right, which they're selling into a market, right? So they are designing for them. For Amazon, that particular service is a product for them. So they are designing the product for themselves, but as an end user, it's a service for me what I'm using. So that's a product owner.
Okay.
So if you want
Okay.
to be a
Okay.
product
Okay. Okay.
owner, you'll go and you can be a product owner for all this Flipkart, Amazon. So that you will be called as a product owner there.
Okay. Sure. 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 Thanks a lot.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, we have another question from Ralph. Ralph Miguel. I've unmuted Ralph. The question is, if a product is already satisfying the needs of its customers, and hypothetically we no longer have any negative experiences, how can we further improve it?
Yeah, that's a very good question, Ralph. So I'm not sure, but then when I visited like countries like US and stuff, we have competitors like Lyft, or like they are the service provider of the cab, right? So like, I mean, I use Lyft or I used many cab services before, and I was happy with it. You know, amazing, good. I have no issues. But then Uber has taken it all over, right? Now, how did they do that? Everything is working fine, but then they still try to improve their product, right? Maybe they are giving a very low compensation, or they give a very good service to the drivers. They give them more incentives, and that's how they hike their product and the kind of things they improve to a very different level, a better user experience, right? So how can they do that? So there are a lot of that's where the design thinking comes into picture, and we can elevate the existing product to the next level. And that's why we say that technology is disrupting, you know, the traditional way how we are selling the product. And it's very important, Ralph, that if even if you have a very good product in the market, it's recommended that you do design thinking at least once a year to this product or service. You know Kodak, right? Kodak was one of the leading company in photography. They are just washed out because they never they thought like they're the leaders in photography, but the paper industry got, you know, taken over by digital. They never thought about it, you know. So the technology is disturbing the traditional manner. So we should implement design thinking even to an existing best product, and we can definitely enhance it using design thinking. Ralph, did that answer your question, or feel free to kind of
Okay, Ralph's audible to some audio problem, I guess. I mean, he just left the question, so I'll
Okay.
just wait
And
for.
mhm.
Right. So Rajesh, I mean,
Yeah.
extension
Mhm.
to Ralph's thing. So what people I kind of understood is being pessimist in the overall design thinking approach helps us derive better results in a way, or is it very subjective on how a human thinks or how he takes it basis his personality? If I'm too pessimist, will I have the approach which say Siddharth just mentioned, where or what degree of positivism should be retained in the overall process? I mean, this is how the question has come in.
Right. No, I mean, guys, don't take it in a different way. That the reason why I explained design thinking from a user pain point was to make you understand how it can solve a problem, right? But definitely, it's not only about solving a problem, but as Ralph was mentioning, as Siddharth is saying, you can also enhance. You can look at the positive side of it as well, okay, and you can keep enhancing it. So definitely, it's not a showstopper that you should only concentrate on the pain points. You can have a various different approaches to bring up a new product or enhance your existing product in a better way, right?
Okay, we have another question from Saili, Rajesh. And the question is,
Mhm.
can design thinking help you in both ideation part of the business or service, and also the business in the working phase? So is design thinking equally useful for ideation of the business, which is before you are in the market and once you're in the working phase, and how it
Yes, definitely. You can do that. The answer is yes. The ideation is a part of design thinking, approach. You can definitely implement it. So,
okay?
like if
Salia,
you, yeah. So if you, yeah,
yeah, please go on.
yeah. So I just want to come up to this slide just to explain something. Okay. Now, see, this is very important. Good that this point was brought in. You see the sevenfold process here, right? Now, it's not important that you do the design thinking from first stage. Okay. You do this when you need something positive, as everyone is saying, like they need to understand who the end user is, try to understand them and see what positive thing or what pain points we can embrace. When you don't know what you want to solve, or you want to just go ahead and enhance your product, that's when you start with stage one. But as the question came right now, if you already have a problem which you have already identified, we won't start with stage one. We won't do stage one. We won't empathize. We won't do that. We may start with stage 3 or stage 4 directly, because we already know the problem. So we start doing what is the current as a scenario. How can we ideate? So we'll start with probably stage number 3. We won't do 1 or 2. So it depends. Like if you already have a problem, we can start doing ideation. If you don't have a problem, you just have to enhance it. We start from stage number 1. So it's, it depends what the organization is trying to achieve. We can tailor this approach to them. Did that answer your question?
Uh, I guess, I mean, we cannot hear Siley. Uh, Suraj wants to know what are the books that you would suggest on design thinking that you think are good enough to read or will add value.
Yeah, I will put that in the Twitter. I'll see what good books are available. I normally follow IBM methodologies and tailor my approaches. IDEO is there. There are Stanford. They have all their own methodologies I see online. Books, I'll just see what best I can, kind of suggest you guys. Hmm?
Right. Another question we have here from Tanvi is companies today rely on big data and analysis to reach out to a solution for any problem. So design thinking process is a pre-stage process of analysis or post stage. So I think which is more of a pre thing where you. So the question basically is where to probably implement design thinking process. Is it pre-stage of creating the problem, or once you have the problem and then you go beyond it? This is the question that Tanvi has.
Okay. Can you just read that question if that was written, or
I'll
I just.
put it in the chat section because so that everyone can see it. Maybe yeah. It's
Okay,
in the chat section.
company today rely on big data and analysis to reach to a solution to improve their product. So is design thinking. See, yeah, I would say that it can be a pre-stage process. I understand what she is asking, and I'm just thinking how I can answer it to her. So see, there are companies like hotel industries, for example, okay, and they just wanted to implement big data and AI into it, and they want to improve their service, okay. And believe it or not, this comes from top management or top executives. They say just implement this, and I need do some wonders and come back. And to be honest, you call these people in a meeting room and ask them, what do you wanted to, what is your intent behind this? And they keep quiet. They don't know. They just say that, hey, I'm just asked to put big data and analysis, and I wanted to do. This has been told by us to, improve the service. It doesn't work like that. So there's a specific course. I mean, where I deliver AI, artificial intelligence, design thinking. It's called AI Essential. So there I can take you through a complete process where we do this kind of activity. It's a little bit different process than sevenfold process, where we try to understand the intent of it. We try to gather data, like, you have public data, private data, and then you have your user data. So what are the data? We do some ideation behind it. What kind of data you need to understand your user? So some people are saying we can try to use their credit card and try to know what is he doing. That's not ethical. In AI, that's not considered as an ethical approach. So we take that out. So there is a process. I would say it's a design thinking comes pre. When you do all this process, you will be able to make your AI. You can do the data analysis or data digging, everything in a proper way, and you will get a proper solution. So if you do that design thinking AI essential workshop with us, or with anyone, it will really save your time. If you give it to some external people or external consultant, they might take 1 month, but if you do it in a workshop, within a day or two you will get the result, and you will exactly know what data you need to dig, what your AI you need to make them understand, how you can make your AI learn better and give you a better result. So like one of the hotel industry that I was working or was looking into, we enhance their user experience. Like, what is his ticket booking, what kind of climate he belongs to, so that climatic conditions, all those datas are being fed, what are his ordering histories, like what he does. And we took all those things and we enhance the user experience. So when a user comes to the hotel, the person knows him by name and he greets him by name, like, like, hey, hi Saurabh, thank you for coming to my hotel. And then he takes him in. His best food is already kept in the table when he enters his room. The room temperature is set to what he likes. So that's how we integrate it. But like, that's a pre-process. We have to do the design thinking first and then make your AI big data. Technology is secondary. First you should know what you need to do. That's where design thinking comes into. That's why it's very vital that we should embrace design thinking as our first thing in all of our organization.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, I think, I mean, I don't think we have any other questions per se. I mean, let me just quickly check. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, before we close, Saurabh, like, can we ask some of the people, like, how did they feel overall webinar? Like, I don't know if you want to do that.
Okay, what I'll do is I'll unmute all of them and let's
Oh my
see.
God. Okay, let's see that.
Yeah, let's try. Let's see some chaos if we can.
Yeah, I just wanted to hear from everyone. How was the session? Because I just wanted to make sure that everyone understands it's from like a baby step. What is design thinking? There's a lot of chaos around the market. They don't know what design thinking does. I know you guys will be having still some doubts, but then how was the session? Like, how did you felt about it? Like every baby steps that we took to know what design thinking is. I want to know that experience. Like, how was it? And I can implement going ahead.
Anyone? Okay, I don't think. Okay, no one's answering. I mean, maybe we still have to speculate what it could be. Okay, we have. Okay, Siley says the webinar was helpful. It helped understand the scope of design thinking.
Okay, thank you, Sally.
Okay, anyway, we'll be sending out a survey post the webinar anyway to all the attendees. We have Francis here. Hi, Francis. Can you hear us? Can you just try speaking one so that we know that we can hear you? Okay. Problem with the audio maybe.
A little bit feeble. If you can, like, speak a bit loud, maybe closer to your mic.
Okay, no problems. We'll. It was Vishnu says it was great, Rajesh. Thank you for enlightening us. Much appreciated. And Francis says while big data can help. Okay, there's a big question that okay, we have Ralph.
Hello. Sorry, ran into audio issues earlier. But I think the webinar is very helpful, gives me a good grasp of design thinking. However, I do think that the part where you actually showed the methods for how we can design think was a bit how can I say this? It was mostly glossed over. So I think that's something that can be. I think that's the affected by the time limit, but I think that's something that can be improved in the next time you hold a webinar like this.
Sure. Thanks, Ralph.
Thanks
Sure,
too.
thanks, Ralph. So yeah, sure, Ralph. So are you saying that like exactly how do we reap the benefit out of, or what are these process or approach that was not covered in depth? Is that what you're trying to say, Ralph?
It was the benefits of the process was conveyed clearly, but it's more on the how we can apply it.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So Ralph, just for you and everyone, so yeah, exactly as you said, this was just like touching on a very high level what design is all
Hmm.
about. So probably you can get in touch with Saurabh or Clavent with anything. We do offer like the foundation level courses. It's like a 1 day or a 2 day workshop that we do. We also conduct a specific workshops for companies who would like to improve their process, where you can hire us and we can come to your office or do a specific workshop for how we can drive you through the sevenfold process and give you a result output. So that's specific to workshop. Or if you just wanted to know more about the process in more detail, that's a foundation level.
Hmm.
That be generic. We take a very big example of humanities and we make you understand each process in detail. So that's like a 1 day training, foundation level training. But then if you have your
Hmm.
own product or service that you want to improve, we can come to you and we can give you a specific workshop. So that will cover the foundation plus result driven output for your company as well. So this is just to know, like, hey, do you guys know design thinking? And now you know what it is, how you can
Right.
apply, you can contact us and we can help you. Yeah.
All right. Thanks for the suggestion.
Yeah. Thanks, Ralph. Thanks for the point taken. Yeah.
All right. Thanks to
Thanks,
you too.
Ralph. Thank you. Okay, Rajesh, that I think this kind of brings us towards the end of the session, and it has been a very interactive session. Thanks to all the attendees, and thank you, Rajesh, for taking the time out today to tell us about how the design thinking works. Just for all the attendees, just to let you know that we will be coming up with more webinars on emerging technologies in the coming weeks. We have a blockchain webinar session starting from next week, in which we will cover topics like blockchain in AI, blockchain AR and VR, and all of these will be on an introductory or a high level sessions. So all of you can come in and at least try to understand if uh, how what's really happening in the blockchain space and in AI and the other technologies. And we as Clavent will be trying to bring forth these high-level webinars on emerging technologies. And if any one of you interested in a detailed advanced course, please get in touch with us on contact@Clavent, and we'll give you all the details over there. And just to a final note, thank you all. Have a nice weekend. Thank you, Rajesh. Thank you, everyone, for taking a time out. See you soon. I mean, I'll see to join you next week as well. Thank you, Rajesh.